Hello YouTubers, RogueMonkeyJr here, and today we just got news on the game modes that Battlefield 5 will launch with. So obviously the first one that they put in the article, which there'll be linked to in the description down below, is Grand Operations. Now I've made a video on Grand Operations before. Basically, Grand Operations is divided into 4 separate days, each day having a different game mode. So if we take, for example, Grand Operations on Narvik, the first day was Airborne, where you would parachute out of a plane and try to take out the enemy team's artillery cannons. Day 2 would, for example, be Breakthrough, which is the operations that we know and love from Battlefield 1. So there's different sectors, and the attacking team has to fight the defending team in order to take those sectors, and the more they progress, obviously, the further they get in that day. Then there's the third day, which they didn't say what the game mode was. I would suppose it would be something along the lines of Frontlines or Conquest. So that's another day, and then you get the final stand, which is day 4. You don't always make it to there. You only make it to final stand if both teams are evenly matched, and that's final stand basically is pretty self-explanatory. The team with the last standing soldiers wins. It's as simple as that. You have very limited resources, nobody respawns, and that's pretty much how that game mode plays out. Now, it is to note that the more the days advance, it takes into account how good you did on the previous day. So if you did very good, you're going to spawn in with more reinforcements, more ammo, more health. If you don't do good, then you're going to spawn in with less reinforcements and less ammo. So it's going to be interesting to see how the full Grand Operations plays out in the alpha. If I remember correctly, you only played 2 different days, so the Airborne game mode and Breakthrough. So now let's move along to the standalone multiplayer modes in Battlefield 5. The first one obviously is a must-have, Conquest. Now the way that Conquest is going to work in Battlefield 5 is going to be much closer to how it worked in Battlefield 4. So it's going to have the same classic rule set from what they said, and the same approach to the inners of how Conquest works. They also said in this description that we can expect some Conquest Assault variants straight from launch. We got some Conquest Assault in Battlefield 1 with the Apocalypse DLC and Turning Tides DLC, but now we can expect them straight out of the gate. Next game mode is Breakthrough, which I explained a little bit earlier. This is pretty much how Operations functions in Battlefield 1 right now. They just changed the name of it to Breakthrough. So you have an attacking team, a defending team. One team has to push through all the different sectors of the map. No saying if it's a single map Operations or if it's like 2 maps. We'll have to wait and see. But that's pretty much how it functions. The next one is a fan favorite from Battlefield 1, which was added after launch, and that is Frontlines. So if you've played Battlefield 1, I'm pretty sure you know what Frontlines is. If you haven't played Battlefield 1, it's kind of a mix of Conquest Rush and Battlefield 4's Obliteration mode is what they say. So basically, each team fights over one single flag, and then they battle out in a tug of war. So they can the enemy team can push you back towards your spawn, or you can push the enemy team back towards their spawn. As soon as you capture the last flag next to their spawn, you then unlock their actual spawn area to go and attack those MCOMs. If you fail, then you go back into the tug of war mode until the match is won or the timer runs out. Next is Domination, which is obviously very much expected. Same way that Domination works in Battlefield 1, with the exception of tickets bleeding down rather than counting up. So if you hold more than half the flags, the enemy respawns will dwindle down. If you hold all the flags, then dwindle down even faster. And last but not least, we have the classic Team Deathmatch. Can't really have a Battlefield game without this classic game mode. Everybody knows what Team Deathmatch is. I doubt I need to explain it. I'm a little saddened to say that there's no rush in the multiplayer mode lineup for Battlefield 5 as of yet. They might add it later in a patch or update. Battlefield 1's rush was not very good. There wasn't enough players in it to actually make it fun. 24 is way too small for rush. I would rather have it set to 32 or even 40. That would have been quite interesting, because Battlefield 4's rush mode was probably one of my favorite modes in that game. So let me know in the comments down below what you think of the multiplayer modes that are coming with the launch of Battlefield 5. If you're disappointed to see that some of your favorite game modes aren't making their way back into Battlefield 5 at launch, while you're down there, be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I release Battlefield and first-person shooter-related content pretty much every day. And as always, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.